Grand Rising, loves, and happy Sunday. This is the altar spread for the collective consciousness today. Breathe deep and easy. I had no idea. Way back, I used to be a huge football fan, and so I heard today's Super Bowl Sunday. Didn't know that. I don't even know who's playing this year. I am so disconnected from media and the world and news and sports. So those of you who are going to be watching, enjoy. Anyhow, the sacred geometry that showed up for today is Merkaba. And the Merkaba is a very powerful sacred geometry. This is the vehicle. And so if you see, it's two interlinking pyramids. The downward pointing pyramid represents the chalice, feminine energy, earth, water. And the upward pointing pyramid represents the masculine energy. It's the directive energy of fire, wind, and the sword. And so that when they interlink, that becomes ether, all that is, in complete balance. But if you meditate with yourself inside of the Merkaba, it actually becomes a vehicle for your higher consciousness so that you can truly glimpse and commune with your true and highest self. And so when Merkaba shows up, this is you joining with you and everything that created you and everything that you are. Because again, the downward pointing pyramid linking with the upward pointing pyramid is ether, all that is. And that is what you are in your truest form. You are everything and also nothing. And you get to glimpse that. So Merkaba is a very powerful vehicle to transport you to the source that you are. Not the source that you were created from, not into that pool, but you as source. And so it's very powerful, and it showed up in the upright. So a lot of you are awakening to the fact that you are not your human, and you are not your intellect. Grand Rising, Miguel. And so that can occur for you if you are willing to surrender into that. And so if you want to do the meditation, doing a Merkaba meditation, you imagine yourself suspended in this 3D image right there, imagining that you are held by this pyramid, the chalice, like a cup. You're suspended in there, and that this other one floating above you. And if you do that, you can be transported to the source that is you, not that you are sourced from. It's not outside of you, it is you. And so water showed up in the upright, and water's been showing up a lot. I love this because if y'all could see like how big the deck is and how I shuffle, and especially these two decks because it matters if they show up in reverse or upright. I mush them around and then I shuffle them, and I'm a pretty good shuffler, by the way. And for a card to repeatedly show up, it's kind of mind-blowing. It's beautiful. And so water showing up in the upright, remember, is about giving yourself permission, about feeling all of the feels, because water is representative of emotion, right? But in our bodies, the energetic space that connects with the element of water is our sacral. And so the sacral chakra, or the lower dantian, whatever school of energetic practice you work from, this is the energetic space that houses knowledge of true self. And so that's the cohesiveness of the spread this morning, connecting with your true self, the water of the sacral. So if you breathe as if you have a nose directly beneath the navel, like you're pulling your breath in and out of that space, allow your awareness to stay there. And then feel every breath as if it's cleansing that lower abdomen. And then allow the breath to swirl in a clockwise direction, coming from the navel into the left hip, grazing the pelvic floor, coming up through the right hip, ending at that navel, and then exiting the spine directly horizontal. It will actually purify that space, clearing out any grit or heavy, sticky energy that's kind of been congesting that chakra. And the clearer it gets, you will start to feel this gentle vibration happening. And that vibration will be in a pulse, unlike your heartbeat. It'll be like tingling or waves of warmth. And if you imagine a pool of water in that space with every breath, just kind of swirling and swirling with every breath, you will begin to awaken and cleanse and purify the energy of that space and feel more connected to who you really are. And so if you do that and meditate inside of the vehicle of the Merkaba, wow, phenomenal things can be shown to you. And so feel all of the feels, because when you get into that state and you start clearing the congestion out of the sacral, all kinds of trauma and all of that crap that you've been storing in that space will start to come to the surface, like raking the sediment in a riverbed. It just starts to float up to the surface. And if you allow yourself to move through it, that's the greatest gift of self-love, is permission to move through it, to clear it, and to process it. And then you become a more open vessel yourself. And the more relaxed and clear the physical body is, the more fully the soul can come into that space. And so Spinel is the tool. Remember, these first two cards really talk about where you're at right now, and the stone is always the tool to help you. And so I don't have any Spinel, but I love the message of hope. Isn't that a beautiful stone? It's like a burnt orange, really pretty. And so this is a water stone. So as you see, it connects you with the element of water, which is water, right? And so this is a sacral stone. It'll connect you to that space also. It really will help you clear. That's a tool to help clear the energetic space of the lower dantian, the lower abdomen, that second chakra. And you can really help yourself know self. Because this is also the energetic space that pulls in abundance for your life. And it's your creative force, your creative energy. And it helps you with abundance by the way of intimacy and finances. This is the Venus of our body, is the sacral chakra. And so start feeling into that you're not a human, you're actually a spirit having a human experience. And the more you permit yourself to love and work through things, the more harmonious your experiences become. And so the final card in the spread is Padmasundari, and this is out of the darkness, the light is born. And so this is also the message of hope. So knowing that, one, every experience is happening for you, not to you. Oh, Grand Rising, Danny, you're a beautiful soul as well. And so feel into that energy. Are you starting to feel like, oh my gosh, this is becoming too chaotic, too dark? This really feels like I'm getting my ass kicked. Know that it's for a reason. You're getting the shakedown for a reason, and it's refining you, not defining you. And everything that happens is a purification process. So hold on to hope. Hold on to hope and know that out of all darkness, light is born. And this is not, I hear a lot of people like really downing and like dogging on spiritual teachers that talk about light. They're like, oh, it's not all love and light. No, it certainly fucking is not. And if you're not doing the deeper shadow work, you are really just scraping the surface and not really diving to the depths of what you really are. Because we all hold darkness. And what's funny is that those very shallow, like everything is love and light, their existence is pretty horrific. If you really stop and ask them, what's showing up in your experience? It's a lot of darkness. They're witnessing it. And they're really doing like spiritual bypass by saying, it's all love, it's all love. It's not. You have to look, and when something dark or horrific shows up in your experience, you say, oh, fuck, I must have this. I created it. And find the part of you that did create it, because you are everything. And so then you have to be honest. This is a part about being honest with yourself, and this is also part of the depth of spiritual path, is recognizing that you are that also, that you are horrific too. And once you start to recognize that, but love it, and that's the part of loving it. It's not the bypassing, it's saying, wow, I understand how this was created, but I'm not going to reject that. I'm not going to bypass it. I witness it, and I'm going to marinate in it. And that's what starts to harmonize your reality. And it won't show up. Most of the awful things that show up in my reality now are through third party, through the work that I do. But I also realize that when it shows up, okay, that's part of me. Thank you for the opportunity to clean this too. So that is the spread for the day. Happy Sunday. Happy every day. Happy you. I love you. And I am sorry for any discord, anything that is out of alignment that I myself have created as source. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. I love you. Please forgive me. And thank you. Thank you.